Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the Corsa Classic Cup. We are here today with Group 2 for Round 5, and we are at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, in Quebec, Canada. Welcome everybody, it's BLIN-MACHINE once again with you guys in the commentary booth, and also joining me once again is Ferret. How you doing?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Well, I'm really excited because I know that this is your favorite track, so I'm excited for this race, as I'm sure you are as well, as Chael Wadi just smashed right into the back of that Porchy dude, and he's missing his whole front wing there, as we just saw that on stream. But we gotta mention, it's wet.
Yeah, Canada in the wet is nothing better.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice little race. It's going to be a tough one as YouTube Mergent just loses the car out of the exit of turn 4. Unfortunately, not having a good time coming through that little chicane over there. And yeah, everybody's struggling in these wet conditions here in Canada. And then once again, YouTube Marine almost losing the car out of the exit of turn 6. How do you think this is going to turn out, Ferret?
Well, if the conditions carry on into the race, I'm sure we're going to see a few mistakes where the stronger drivers are going to capitalise on, but it kind of levels the playing field as well in the rain because anybody can make a mistake.
Yeah, that's true, and we've just seen Chael Wadi make a huge mistake there just a few moments ago, and I mean, he is the leader of this championship right now with 32 points to his name. To Paxture, who's actually not here today, unfortunately. Oh, no, he is. There he is in 7th place on an outlap as well. Ooh, YouTube Marine cutting that corner completely. So he's invalidated that lap. I'm not sure if he's going to go green for the next lap. He does. But yeah, Tapaxter in 2nd place right now with 21 points, tied with Danny Boy at 21 points as well. And then we have another tie of Philippe and Kyle for 4th place with 15 points each. We've also got another tie with Bivezier and Mergent for 10 points each for 7th place. And another tie with Fortune Dude and TKM King with 8 points each for 8th place. Tasmanian Devil rounds up 10th with 3 points. But Chael Wadi not having a very good time right now in the opening stages of this qualifying here. Had a couple of major incidents on his first lap out. He does have a time set of 124.5. We still got 10 minutes to go in qualifying. But yeah, everybody's skipping the corners. Nobody can make it around there. YouTube Marine just cut a massive corner there through the exit of turn 9. So yeah, he set a purple sector, but that's just only because we have regular rules on. I'm not sure if this lap is going to end up getting validated for him because that was a massive, massive cut on that corner.
Well, I was just on board with TKM King, and he'd done the same thing. We're pretty much cutting the corner there at the turns 13 and 14. Give it basically a lot of leeway being given there to allow that to go through.
Yeah, and there goes YouTube Mergent into the lead with a 122.9, so he's 1.1 seconds ahead of everyone by cutting a couple of corners on his way to that time. But of course, you know, even though we cannot sort of give him a penalty at this moment in time, I'm sure that the stewards will be taking a look at that because, yeah, that's not really fair. You do gotta stick to the track here, even though it's wet conditions, as he loses the car and smashes into the wall on the exit of turn 5. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tricky race. Of course, we don't really know what's it gonna be like in the race itself. All we have for now is what we can see on screen, and it's quite wet for now, but it might be a dry race, which might change everything completely. What would you prefer, Ferret? What do you think is gonna be best for a good show here tonight?
Well, I do love Canada in the rain. Racing it or watching it has always been my preferred choice of weather in Canada. It's just because, personally, I feel like I could take advantage of that over a lot of other drivers. But we don't want to see anybody crashing out, so I'm hoping for a transitioning race, so either dry to wet or wet to dry. Would be quite interesting to see.
Ooh, that would be interesting to see. That's what we got last week in the Stoopwaffel Grand Prix in Belgium. There was a couple of transitions of weather, if I'm not mistaken, both in qualifying and in the race. So yeah, if that's gonna be another case here today, that could be another incredible, unbelievable show like what we had last week. Honestly, last week was so unpredictable as we've mentioned and as we talked about. But Chael Wadi came out of nowhere to take that win because he was in about third or fourth before there was a couple of major incidents, and I think we had a total of about 3 safety cars last round around. So yeah, this could be an interesting one. Canada always delivers a pretty good show. We've got 10 people here tonight for Group 2. So remember, only the top 6 are going to score points. Or the top 8, sorry. So, the top 6. So we will see who's going to be there. So Luke Flano jumped himself up into second place, 123.567, not too bad, and validated on his second try, unfortunately, and he's got damage on the front wing. He's cutting some corners there, and he loses the car and smashes up into the wall once again right before the entry into the DRS zone. That would be on the exit of turn 7, I guess.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
Yeah, that's a... Oh, that DRS zone has always been there, but I got surprised a couple of weeks ago, or whenever we were racing at Canada, that there was a DRS zone somewhere. I just keep on forgetting about it, even though this is one of my favorite tracks out there. I think, this one, Spa, and Baku are my top 3. What would you say your top 3 are, Ferret?
Well, I have to agree with you with Canada and Spa, but I can't stand Baku. So I juggle between Bahrain and probably Monza.
Yeah, it's not bad. Monza is pretty good to watch as a spectator, but in terms of racing, I don't enjoy it particularly. But yeah, I mean, to each his own. As Luke Flano had a massive moment there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. He was coming in the hairpin of turn 10, and he just didn't stop, just went completely through. I thought he was going to spin the car around, but then he went left, right, and sort of turned around. Not really sure what he's doing at the moment. But we were talking about this before the stream started, Ferret. You are a huge fan of this track, and I know you know a lot about it. Tell us a little bit about this track.
Well, the track was actually the island that it was actually built on was actually originally for the Expo in 1967. Then it was left pretty much derelict for years until the 76 Olympics at Montreal. Straight after that, the Olympics, the work started to turn it into a motorsport track due to the fact that Mossport Park and Mont Tremblant circuits were not up to F1 standard. So that's a big key factor. Like, people thought this was actually designed. Oh, I've just seen Portrait Dude clip the car on the exit of turn 5. He comes around a bit too quick, loses the back end, and crashes into the wall just before turn 6. Sorry for jumping interrupting there. But yeah, it was. It's quite amusing that people think, oh, it's a man-made island, especially for the track, when actually the island was made 12 years before the track was even designed.
Wow, yeah, I know, and it's actually a national park as well, so you can just go and walk around there, and this road is actually just a service road, and most of the roads around there are service roads, so people can just drive around there or walk around in the park in the summer. I've been to Montreal. I've never had the chance to go to the park. Funnily enough, I was actually working in Montreal while the Grand Prix was happening. As I was driving to work in the morning, I could hear the cars going. You could hear them all over town, and I was like, oh my god, what would I do? What would I give up right now to go and see it? But hopefully I'll try and make it either this year, if COVID lifts off and we'll be able to possibly have fans of the Grand Prix. That would be great. But right now, this is the best we've got. 3 minutes to go in qualifying. Looks like the weather is starting to brighten up a little bit, but it's probably not going to be quickly enough for these drivers to make any sort of a change in their times right now. TKM King just went up to provisional pole with a 122.6, so maybe the conditions are improving on track. It does look a little bit lighter out there. Tapaxtra is thinking about coming up. Bevezier is on that very long casino straight coming into the last chicane, and the wall of the champions on the right there, touching it a little bit, giving it a tiny little kiss there as he comes around for the end of his lap. He's going to stick around in 6th place for now. Tapaxtra has just started his hot lap in the McLaren. I really love the sound of this car. I don't particularly like driving it. I actually enjoy driving the Red Bull a little bit more myself, but Tapaxtra taking it nice and easy, nice and slow and careful around all of these corners. He's just keeping the traction on those tires as he puts in a purple sector right before somebody else takes it away from him there. I'm not sure if that was Luke Flano or Tapaxtra. One of them is right behind him. Yeah, Tapaxtra right now with a couple of minutes to go in qualifying could put in a good lap here, could possibly lift himself up, maybe even to the pole position.
Yeah, I completely agree with you with the cars themselves. With the Red Bull, I do prefer driving it myself. It is actually because the Red Bull produces a lot more downforce than the McLaren does. So in the wet, it could be the Red Bulls that actually got the advantage through the corners.
Yeah, I think you might be right, although last week again, when we were in Group 1 USA, we were sticking pretty close to each other between the Red Bulls and the McLarens, although the Red Bulls had a tiny little slight advantage. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here. Tapaxtra is going to come around right now. He's going to be in 5th place, but Bevezier with a 123.0 puts himself up into 3rd. I think they're going to go for another lap here if they can. That Porchy dude is about to round up the hairpin corner here. He's coming out to the casino straight to finish off his out lap. He's going to be one of the last couple of people here to be able to make it to the line. I'm not sure how far away is Chael. Oh, Chael Wadi has just had a moment around the hairpin. He's spinning out on the back wheels. He cannot get any sort of traction. Is he on dry tires? Let's take a look here. No, everybody's still on wets. So I'm not sure why he's having so much trouble, but he might not make it to the line here. That Porchy dude right now coming around turn 1 and 2, getting pretty good traction out of turn 2 and up the little hill here before coming into the next chicane, but touching the wall there, just losing the car. It's so hard to hold on to these cars in these conditions, and smashing into the wall on the exit of turn 4 as well. That's not going to help his lap time at all here. This is very tricky. It seems to be probably one of the hardest qualifying sessions we've seen this season in Group 2. Farrad, what can you do in these sort of conditions? Like, well, what is the key?
Well, it's increased downforce. That's you've got to make sure that you're pushing the car through the water. A lot of cars, with the weight of the F1 cars, if you haven't got the downforce, the car's just going to slide on top of that surface water. You got to take the braking early, brake in straight lines, because if you're braking on the corner itself, you are going to put the car on a spin. So it's all about judging the braking early, and powering through the corners.
Yeah, it's just all about keeping that traction in those tires, I think, and that Porchy dude is doing a pretty good job here. Does not smash into the wall of champions. Gonna come across the line in a second here. He's gonna go up to 6th place with a 123.5. Looks like somebody else is about to round up here. YouTube Marine is still on a lap as well. He's right on the casino straight coming into the last chicane. So, yeah, right now TKM King and YouTube Marine are on that top step, but again, YouTube Marine just cutting corners all over the place. We did see a couple of other drivers trying to cut corners, and YouTube Marine taking 1st place once again, but again with a massive cut.
And Chael Wadi just jumped into 3rd right there at the last moment. So it's going to be an interesting battle at the front.
I'm also interested to see how the stewards are going to respond to all of these massive corner cuts in qualifying. But for now, YouTube Marine is going to be starting on pole position with Team KKM's King in 2nd place, Chael Wadi in 3rd, Bevezier in 4th, Luke Flano in 5th, Tapaxtra in 6th, Seventh goes to that Porchy dude. Philippe in eighth place. Broomhandle in ninth. And Mel Gaming did not set any time in this qualifying session. But that's the grid for now. Again, massive cuts. I think what happened here today is the steward said we will allow regular corner cutting as long as you guys try and keep it civil. But if you do cut, there will be major penalties for that. So I'm expecting a lot of reviews for the stewards, a lot of work for them tonight after this race.
Yeah, it's like taking liberties when where they can at the drivers at the moment, but with the fact that they have been spotted doing so, the stewards will step in.
And it's nice and sunny and bright. It looks like for the start of the race here today for round 5 at the Canadian Grand Prix at the Corsa Classic Cup. Used to be the Corona Classic Cup, but we've decided to change the name a little bit to try and get rid of that term. But let's see
Bad
if
stigma.
exactly, yeah. Let's see if that's gonna help out the drivers here today. Thanks again to everybody who's watching the stream right now. Send in some comments. I saw a comment coming in there from Broomhandle saying, great commentary as always, guys. Well, thank you so much. And Broom, of course, is the organizer, one of the main organizers of this league. So thank you for making this happen. And good luck in the race, and good luck to all of our other drivers as well. But if you guys are watching, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, stick around to see how this race is going to turn out. Alright, going out there for the formation lap now. Ooh, a little bit wiggly there. Somebody didn't exactly start off, and then some other cars had to avoid that driver, but it looks like we're now out on our out lap. Mel Gaming has been disqualified from the session because he was not moving. I'm not sure if Mel Gaming had some sort of an issue with connection or anything else, but he did not set a qualifying time and was disqualified from the session on the grid. He's still on the grid though, so he will start the race hopefully. Let's see here.
I will be honest, I'm a little bit jealous of these drivers right now. I would love to have been out on the circuit with them.
Yeah, it's such a fun track to drive around. Ooh, Luke Flano and Yuta Moran and Chael Wadi just came together there. A bunch of people got sent back to the grid for making contact. A little bit of a messy start to this race, I gotta say, with that wet qualifying session, with a lot of corner cutting, and now this formation lap. It's looking a bit messy. Maybe the drivers here today are just feeling a bit of fun and not really taking it too seriously, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think Broomhandle's got the advantage here right now with Philippe right now, giving themselves as much time as possible to get as much heat as they can in that in those tyres. TKM King, who kind of flew off to get to the grid, he's going to be sitting there for a while until Broomhandle gets there.
Alright, so most of our drivers are coming in through the Wall of Champions here, or beside the Wall of Champions. You definitely don't want to go through the Wall of Champions. But they are rounding up the grid right now, and hopefully we will have a nice race here today. We're going to be doing 35 laps. That's quite a long distance, but they're going to be very short laps, only 4.3 kilometers or about 2.7 miles each. So expect pretty quick lap times here. The real life race lap record here is a 1:13.0 from Valtteri Bottas in 2019. Alright, so we are on the grid waiting for the lights to come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights are on. And let's go racing in Canada here for the Corsa Classic Cup for Group 2, Round 5 here in Canada. And we are off to a pretty good start. Chilwadi jumping himself up into second place right in the first corner. They're overtaking TKM King. All of the cars are ghosting for some reason right now. I'm not sure if people have some sort of an issue. It looks like Mel Gaming has not moved from the grid at all, and he's now been disqualified from the race, unfortunately. So we've lost one person already. We've got, oh my god, the animation is just all over the place right now. But Chilwadi still in second, YouTube Marine still in first, but he is got Chilwadi right on his tail right now with a really big pace. So let's see how that's going to turn out. Chilwadi thinking about a move. TKM King, who dropped down to second place, right on the tail of Chilwadi as well, as they're coming into turn 10 for the first time. Oh, Chilwadi, they're blocking TKM King and almost causing an incident. That is an incident now, as TKM King gets spun out from behind. I think that was by either Bevezier or Tipaxter. So again, a little bit of a messy start here. Broom Handle now in 7th place, trying to gain some positions here. Bevezier is mounting an attack on Tipaxter as YouTube Moraine gets overtaken by Chilwadi. And oh, first touch there on the wall of champions from Bevezier on the right hand side, but no visible damage on his car just yet. And Chilwadi retaking taking the lead of this race on lap 2 for the first time, but he is the leader of the championship, and he was the winner from last week's race. So I'm expecting Chilwadi to try and run away with this one as well. But now there's going to be a big battle in the midfield.
Yeah, with that early overtake with Chilwadi's just done there, has basically opened the door for himself now. He's already increased the difference up to 1.2 seconds, so we could be expecting a bit of a difference happening before he decides to pit.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how that turns out. We've got a little bit of a battle between Porchy Dude and Philippe, as well as Bevezier, Tipaxter, and YouTube Marine, all still fighting between the three of them for second position in this race. It's quite an exciting start with only 10 runners, with only 9 runners now because of Mel Gaming. I think that looked like some sort of an issue with connection. And now Tipaxter thinking about a move on YouTube Marine and not going for it on that occasion. But now Bevezier is going to try and go around him into turn 1. As they come around, Chilwadi sets the fastest time of, or the fastest lap of this race so far. Bevezier pushing on Tipaxter, but not quite making it work there for an overtake.
You can see Bravesta is actually all over the back of Tipaxter at the moment, so he's just looking for that mistake, which I think Tipaxter's just got a little bit wide there through turn 6. So it's just closing that gap off a little bit more. So Bravesta, just waiting for that opportunity right now.
Tipaxter only, I think, in his third race in Group 2 in this league, and already sitting in second place on points, so that is quite impressive. Right now sitting in third place in round 5, but now Bevezier is thinking about making a move on him as they come around turn 10 around the hairpin. Looks like Bevezier got a better run. They're almost side by side. Tipaxter blocking off that run though, and with that McLaren, he's got a little bit of an advantage on the straight. But you gotta stick behind him, and you'll get that slipstream as well with that Red Bull, and that will help you out. And now Bevezier gets a better run through the chicane of 13 and 14. It looks like YouTube Marine got a massive run through there. Maybe he's cut the corner once again. But let's see how this is going to turn out. Tipaxter having a little bit of understeer problems as Bevezier thinking about going down the inside, touches the curb there, and he's going to have to wait and find another opportunity once again. But these battles are quite exciting, and back behind them there's another little three-some train of cars going on here. It's Philippe, that one Porchy Dude, and Luke Flano following very closely behind each other.
Yeah, with the limited vehicles is on a circuit, you wouldn't expect to have this many battles already, but it's absolutely fantastic to watch. And that one Porchy Dude actually cut the corner there to catch up with Philippe, so that would go against him if the stewards do decide to take action. But wheel to wheel action right round turn 10, absolutely fantastic. And that poor Portugal has made the move happen and is now sitting in 5th, with Luke Flano looking to make a double pass, if possible, past the Red Bulls, which he does with ease. But it looks like that one Portugal again cutting the corner instead of coming out of that corner, so he manages to hold on. But that Luke Flano has made the move happen as they go into turn 2, wheel to wheel.
It looks like on the grass there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it was a great battle between these 3 drivers. Unfortunately for Luke Flano, he's actually dropped down a bit now, and now he's just battling with Philippe for that last points position.
Back to this battle of Bivezier and Tapaxter as well. Bivezier right on the back of Tapaxter as they're coming into turns 8 and 9. Tapaxter, they're massively cutting the corner and then losing the back end of the car right on the exit. Bivezier goes for the move. They're going to be side by side into turn 10, into the hairpin. It's Tapaxter who chooses the outside there, and it looks like Bivezier is going to go down the inside. They're still side by side as they come out onto the casino straight. YouTube Marine is not even that far away from them either, so they might be putting on some pressure on them soon. Bivezier has to move back behind Tapaxter on the straight to try and catch that slipstream. He's gonna have to find a place somewhere to overtake that does not include a long straight, but now he's got a really good run through the last turns there as him and Tapaxter are side by side again going into turn 1. They're still side by side. Tapaxter leading for now, but they're touching a little bit there, making a tiny bit of contact. Bivezier, wow, he's putting on some amazing pressure here right now.
Yeah, he's forced here Tapaxter to make a few mistakes. Unfortunately, he's not been able to make the move happen so far, but if he keeps this pressure on, Tapaxter's bound to make a bigger mistake for him just to waltz right through.
No DRS to use with these cars, unfortunately, so these guys are gonna have to figure it out on track and do it on merit and on driving skills alone. Tapaxter there is still struggling with a little bit of understeer, and that makes him cut certain corners by a tiny little bit. Ooh, and a massive oversteer there into the hairpin, but he's got a pretty good run on the exit, so maybe that's the line that he's just choosing through there. Bivezier does not get a pretty good run through there, so he's gonna have to really stick behind Tapaxter and catch that slipstream. He's able to stick with him, but Tapaxter's trying to move around a little bit just to break the toe, and now they're coming in through 13 and 14. Tapaxter smashes into the wall on the front wing. Let's see, no damage just yet, or no visible damage from where we can see, but with these classic cars, it's a little bit harder to spot the damage on the front wing because there's so many more elements.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. It is a tougher to spot the damage. Also, these cars do take a little bit more to break, so you have to hit them a bit harder on the wall compared to the newer models, which are made of lighter, softer material.
And we're only on lap 7 of 35. There's still a long way to go, but Chael Wadi 4.3 seconds ahead of YouTube Marine in second. Tapaxter is in third with Bivezier right on his back here, 6/10 behind him. And then without Portugal, oh, somebody has had a moment. Who is that? That's TKM King. TKM King has spun out on the exit of turn 5 there, coming into 6. He smashed off his whole front wing. He's trying to do a 3-point turn there to try and get back on track, but that's very unfortunate for him, and he's actually retired. He has DNF'd on the track. Is this gonna cause any sort of safety cars or anything? Let's see here for a second. It's just a yellow flag for now, so it doesn't look like it's gonna bring out anything. And Tapaxter there trying to make an attack on YouTube Marine already. So just a moment ago he was fighting with Bivezier. Oh, Broomhandle has retired as well. What happened to Broomhandle? I think he retired in the pits though.
I have no idea. You got Luke Flano and Broomhandle went into the pits together. Broomhandle's decided to retire.
Wow, so they're just dropping like flies here. We have now lost 3 of our runners, down to only 7. Tapexture and YouTube Marine and Bivezier tied in this battle for second place, as Chael Wadi is happy and clear by 6.4 seconds. And now Bivezier right side by side with Tapexture. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Oh, a little bit of a touch there, but Bivezier manages to keep the car together. And this is gonna have to go on for another day. This is just absolutely amazing battling. I just wish we had a little bit more runners to go through this with.
Yeah, this race would have been absolutely spectacular with a full grid. If you could just double the amount of drama, and it'd just be an absolutely fantastic race. But these guys are showing very well, and it looks like a three-way battle into turn 1. Absolutely all pushing each other around a little bit, but it looks like that Tapexter's got himself through, and the 2 Red Bulls have come together at the exit of turn 2.
Oh wow, that was an incredible battle. They were battling through 13, 14, and all the way down into turn 1, but it looks like Tapexter managed to just muscle his way through there up into second place. YouTube Marine now down to 3rd. Bivezier still in 4th and lost a little bit of time on the guys ahead, so he's gonna have to try and catch up. And then from there on, there's quite big gaps there to that Porchy dude, 5.5 seconds behind in 5th place. 6th is Philippe, and is that Luke Flano that just had a moment? I think it is. Yeah, Luke Flano just had a little bit of a moment through turn 1 and 2, brought out a yellow flag, but nothing major there. And we are now on lap 9 of 35. 26 laps more to go. That is an incredible distance, but we're having a pretty good show, so let's see how this is all gonna turn out here tonight.
Yeah, I think Tapexter actually managed to stay out of trouble between when the 2 Red Bulls were battling, and managed to capitalise on the mistakes, which is now he's making a few mistakes now on the corners, so it looks like YouTube Marina goes off. And I think that's coming together, the 2 Red Bulls again. Bivezier hit the back. It looks like he hit the back of YouTube Marine, and is now out of the session.
Yeah, he's decided to retire from the session after that incident. So that's another driver out, and that is just absolutely unbelievable. I think we lost 3 or 4 drivers in just a matter of a couple of laps here, so hopefully the rest of them stick around. I mean, it was a pretty big incident, but you never really know what could happen. I always say this, that, you know, especially when so many people are dropping out or having incidents or crashing out, in this league, you only got to come 6th to score some points. So for Bivezier, that could have been a chance to get some points on the board, but unfortunately, for now, he is going to retire from the race. I'm not sure if he actually retired or if he just left the session. We have another yellow flag, and that's Luke Flano again. And he is in the wall and doing another 3-point turn at the exit of turn 7. Wow, I'm not really sure what's going on here tonight. I wouldn't expect Canada to be such a difficult track to drive on in dry conditions, especially for these drivers. We've seen them for a couple of weeks now. They've been doing a great job all around, and now it's just yeah, it's just a little bit odd.
Yeah, it's I would say like a bizarre showing at the moment. Unsure what's going on, whether Luke Flane is just struggling on that car itself, because it seems to be going wide on a lot of corners. Drivers are making a lot of mistakes as well, so it is a ongoing thing. And there was a car that went really wide on the corner there. I think that was Luke Flano went really wide at turn 10. So it just seems that a lot of mistakes happening already.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, and Luke Flano gets another 3-second time penalty for corner cutting as well. I'm not sure if he's just straight lining the 3rd sector or what they're doing right now, but
he spun right out again at the exit of turn 2. It seems like he's putting a bit too much power down at the exit, and it's just spinning out.
Wow, yeah, Luke Flano not having a very good race here tonight. struggling a little bit on the traction, it looks like, and maybe it's got, you know, a little bit of trouble with the setup. We do have to say you don't really get to do any changes to the setup in this league. You have to race with the regular setup. Oh, and Luke Flano.
Yeah, he's out. He coming on turn 6.
Yeah.
Onto turn 7 and just hits the wall. He had no front wing, so he had no real downforce to get the car around.
And that's a safety car. Yeah, absolutely. He was just coming around that corner, smashed right up into the wall. We had actually been on board with him at the moment, so we had a pretty good view of that incident. And that's a safety car, and we're down to 6 runners in this race in round 5 of Group 2 of the Corsa Classic Cup. Chael Wadi decides to pit under the safety car. Beautiful timing for that, of course. It looks like the Paxter is going to come in as well. I'm pretty much imagining that the whole rest of the field, they're all going to come in and use this for a free pit stop. You've got 23 more laps to go, or about 21 after the safety car is going to pit. So basically, I think they'll be able to make it on just the one set of tires until the end. Chael Wadi still leading to Paxter in 2nd, YouTube Marine in 3rd, that Portuguese dude in 4th, Philippe in 5th, and Bivezier in 6th place. Although Bivezier has left the session, so I'm not even sure if he is actually driving that car. Looks like the session is migrating because Broomhandle has left the session. I'm not sure who we're gonna migrate to, but hopefully there will be a good host.
Yeah, it usually chooses the one with the best connection, really. So hopefully whoever it is has got fantastic connection for us all to tag on to.
All right, so safety car lap 13 of 35. 22 more laps to go in this Canadian Grand Prix here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec. We are coming around turn 10, the slowest corner on this track, and also a pretty difficult corner in the modern F1 cars. You got to really catch the back end when you're coming out of that corner. Ferry, well, since we've got this time here, I'm going to challenge you to pronounce the name of turn 10.
Oh, no, you can't do that to me.
Come on, we've only got 6 runners, we're under a safety car, we've got some time, you can give it a try.
Right, I'm gonna have to read it properly because, like... I'd say it's a Lepingo?
Almost, it's Leping.
Oh, so then you don't pronounce the L at the end?
Yeah, it sort of turns into like a Y, so it's like Lapine.
Ah, right. Thanks very much.
And it just means a pinhead or like a needle.
See, that's what's great about you being Canadian. You can actually go translate French very easily.
Google Translate, yes.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, no, I mean, I've known about that one from before, but I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, I would have sat there going, oh yeah, let me translate all that.
When we did the Belgian Grand Prix, I did have to look up some of the translations because those were very, very complicated.
Belgian is a dialect of French, really. So it was very similar, but yeah, I can understand why you might have to do translations.
Ooh, YouTube Marine there got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Philippe, and the safety car will be coming in on this lap.
Yeah, I was on board with Philippe at that time. Philippe kind of like was on the inside of the corner, and YouTube Marine just kind of like come across his front wing. So cars were a bit too close together before getting told that the safety car's coming in. You know, Chael Wadi's going to be warming up his tyres right before the Wall of Champions, and then just let him loose on that exit, because that's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's getting a really nice long run. The safety car is already in the pits. It's already pretty much at the end of the pit lane. And Chilwadi is still taking it nice and slow, coming around 13 and 14 now. Is he going to go on the power now? No, he doesn't.
Oh, that's different.
He has the right to go all the way up until the finish line, and there he goes now. We are back on green flag racing. YouTube Marine is going to make a move onto Paxter for second position. They tap a little bit of contact there. Oh, and there goes Philippe jumping up the inside of YouTube Marine, but not quite making it work there. YouTube Marine is going to be still in third place here as we're going through turns 4 and 5 now. This is a nice little restart, and yeah, Chilwadi really pulled off a little trick out of his sleeve there.
Yeah, it was a very different approach to the safety car warm-up. I had a feeling that it was like it could cause a few incidents there, but everybody handled it well. And yeah, Philippe, absolutely fantastic restart.
And now that Portuguese dude is trying to make a move on Philippe down the inside through turn 10, through the hairpin there, and not quite making it work. But he's going to stick right behind him and try again on the next one. Chilwadi already second clear of Paxter, who's also a second clear of YouTube Marine. And Philippe and that Portuguese dude are putting on a little bit of pressure. That one Portuguese dude diving down the inside of turn 13, and he's up into fourth place there. Philippe down to fifth, but not very far back. And he'll have the slipstream coming into turn 1. Is he going to go for a move? Not quite yet, but again, Philippe and that one Portuguese, they've been battling it out for the last few laps before the safety car came out, and I'm expecting them to do that right up until the end of the race. We are coming close to midway through this race. As I said, 35 laps is quite a bit, but it is a quick lap around here. It's only just over a minute or so, and yeah, only 14 turns, 7 left, 7 to the right. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's a unique category there, this circuit having 7 right, 7 left. You don't really see that often on any circuit.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I can't remember which circuit it is. I think it might be Singapore that has something like 10 and 6 or something like that, or 10 and 4, like some crazy division like that. A lot of tracks usually have a lot more corners going to one side than to the other, but this one is such a great laid out track. And also in terms of the corner types that you've got here, you've got a couple of really nice chicanes. You've got turn 1 and 2, which are very unique in their configuration as well. We can see that one Portuguese coming into it. It's a really sort of quick left-hander, but then into a really slow right-hander, and then you got to catch the car on the exit, and then you're off to this really quick chicane here. Especially in the modern cars, you can really go through there just bolting. It's such a unique track. It's got such a great combination of nice and really, you know, challenging corners.
Yeah, it's one of those circuits. Ever since it started, most drivers have loved it. It just has a natural, nice flow to it when you're driving it. Obviously, the corners where everybody has to slow down for the most is your turn 2 and turn 10. Both are 180 corners, so that's where it balances out from the other corners and the chicanes that we have. Turns 11 and 12 seem to be like what I thought, like similar to turn 2 in Austria, which is basically just not really a turn. It's just a little kink. I'm not too sure why they would actually call it a corner.
And here comes YouTube Marine and that one Portuguese dude battling it out, and now Philippe is coming into the picture as well. That one Portuguese dude is up into third place as Philippe is trying to overtake YouTube Marine for fourth, and YouTube Marine is going to go for the switch back into turn 1. They make a bit of contact there. Philippe raising up the hand in frustration, and he still manages to get up into fourth place there. Very, very nice move. It looks like YouTube Marine now has damage on the left-hand side of his front wing, so that's gonna not really help him out in this race, unfortunately. But Philippe up into fourth. That one Portuguese dude up onto the podium positions in third. Very, very nice moves there. Oh, YouTube Marine and Philippe battling it out again into turn 10. YouTube Marine just earned himself another 3-second penalty for corner cutting, and that's not going to help him out in this battle, but Philippe also has a penalty. Let's check out what sort of penalties we've got here. So 5 seconds for Philippe, 8 seconds total for YouTube Marine, so that's going to be quite a bit.
And a bit of a corner cut there from YouTube Marine, and it's a battle, wheel-to-wheel battle, and they come together on the home straight.
Oh, and they just came together again right into turn 1. Philippe got a 5-second penalty for the severe collision. YouTube Marine now has more damage on both sides of his front wing. So again, a little bit of a messy situation, and another safety car. Safety car number 2 out on lap 19.
Well, we'll be honest, I've got to be a bit blunt with this one, but I think that was a retaliation hit from Philippe. Obviously, stewards will have to look into that, but that was a bit of a careless move, I would say.
Yeah, I would have to agree, and I think it was definitely avoidable there as well, especially that second incident into turn 1. It just looked like, you know, those two drivers had it out for each other, especially after that incident on the start-finish straight, and they just decided that, you know, that's how they're gonna solve it.
I think both drivers will need to come in to get their front wings repaired.
Yeah, we've also got that one Porchy Dude, Philippe, and YouTube Marine, all three of them into the pits. Chael Waddy and Tupaxter decided to stay out. This sort of helps out Tupaxter, that closes up the gap once again. He hasn't really had the pace here today compared to Chael Waddy, but we will see how possibly the second restart might change things around. The safety car is taking the other two drivers very, very slowly around, as we saw YouTube Marine getting his front wing changed and brand new tires put on the car. Let's see if he can possibly recover from this.
So, while we've got the safety car, yeah, I'll ask you a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is the Wall of Champions called the Wall of Champions?
Because so many people who have crashed into that wall have gone on to then become champions later on.
Almost. I would say you are right in a way, but that was after the Wall of Champions became called Wall of Champions. But
oh, so is it that the champions smashed into it?
Yeah, exactly. It was in 1999. You had Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher, and Jacques Villeneuve, all former F1 champions, smash into it, and also the FIA GT champion Ricardo Zonta, who's also in that race, also smashed into it. So 4 champions smashed into that wall.
Oh wow, that is pretty cool. They also have a little homage on this track to Senna, being turns 1 and 2 being called Virage du Senna, basically the Senna turn. So that's quite nice that they've included so many different champions on this track in one way or another.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, when the circuit first started, came into action in 1978, the first winner was Gilles Villeneuve, and unfortunately he died in 1982, which is when they changed the name from Circuit Notre Dame to Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
And we're still here in Canada. We're still in round 5 for Group 2. A little bit more touching there going back between Bivezier and YouTube Marine. And that one Portuguese dude got a 5-second penalty. Safety car will be coming in on this lap. And again, Chelwadi is giving a massive, massive gap to the safety car to pull ahead and give himself a little bit of a run. Do you think he's going to do the same thing again and take it all the way down to the start-finish line?
I think he might change that idea, you know. I think he's going to keep all the drivers guessing.
Let's take a look here.
They're going to have it. They're going to guess, aren't they? Oh, he's slowing them down a bit. Is he trying to? It looks like he's trying to catch up to Paxter there and letting him go ahead a little bit.
And it looks like YouTube Marine made the pass before the flag went green. Oh, and he spins out the car on turn 1 and 2. Philippe jumps back up into 3rd place there. So a little bit of a messy restart right before the restart. Some position changes. That Portuguese dude is no longer on the podium. Bivezier was up there and dropped down some positions. His car is still ghosting as well. Philippe managed to get up into 3rd place after all of that was said and done. So, wow, this is a crazy, crazy situation here today. I've never seen, you know, so many incidents, so many crazy things happening in the race before, but we've still got 12 more laps to go, or 13 more laps to go as YouTube Marine smashes into the back of Philippe, almost spins him out. More contact coming into turn 10 now. They're side by side, more contact between YouTube Marine and that Portuguese dude. Oh my goodness, this is a little bit messy yet still.
Yeah, these drivers are putting the cars in, I would say, tough spots, dangerous spots, really, and it is causing a bit of contact.
Yeah, YouTube Marine is cutting corners. He just almost caused another incident with Philippe. We had somebody who spun out there on the start-finish straight. I'm not sure who that was. I think that was Tapaxter. Yeah, Tapaxter dropped all the way back to 6th place. Had an incident there on the start-finish straight after the exit of the Wall of Champions there of 13 and 14. And now YouTube Marine is somehow in 2nd place once again. Philippe is back in 3rd and has to fight for this position again. Chelwadi is still in 1st, pretty much been there throughout the whole race, but he's not pulling away as fast as he was after the first restart. 12 more laps to go, and wow, this is a crazy one.
Yeah, it almost looks like Chelwadi's actually taking it easy, so like just cruising rather than like attacking the corners like he was doing it earlier in the session.
And this 3-way battle, that Portuguese Philippe and YouTube Marine is still going on. Philippe is catching the slipstream right behind YouTube Marine as we're watching from on board from that Portuguese. As they're coming into 13 and 14, it looks like Philippe was thinking about going for a move there. That one Portuguese had to cut 14 by a little bit, as now YouTube Marine somehow managing to keep up with Chelwadi, and everybody else is managing to keep up with Chelwadi as well. I'm not sure if maybe Chelwadi has some damage or something. Doesn't look like it. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on, if he's having any issues or if he's just all of a sudden lost all the pace he had. Ooh, a bit of a moment there from Philippe. That Portuguese moves up into 3rd place. Philippe is right on his back though on the Casino Straight. And yeah, we're still down to those 6 runners, but Bivezier's car is still ghosting as far as I saw for the last time. So I think it's only really the 5 drivers going around here tonight. So pretty much everybody will have points at the end of the race if they can make it there.
Yeah, guaranteed points for all our drivers today by the looks of it. I'm hoping for a few more battles. I'm actually hoping for Paxter to get back into the mix because he does deserve to be battling it up at the top.
Now Chilwadi is back on his normal pace, 2.2 seconds ahead of YouTube Marine, who is just over a second clear of that one Porchy dude who's got Philippe right on his back with about half a second behind. So this could still really turn out to be a crazy race towards the end. You never really know what could happen. 10 more laps to go. And yeah, 6 runners out of the 10 that we started with. Unfortunately, we had a couple of incidents. A couple of people crashed out, and we had one driver that decided to retire. One driver that never started the race, unfortunately. I think possibly connection issues there for Mel Gaming, but we will hopefully catch them at the next race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate about Mel Gaming. They were unable to put out a time in qualifying, and it just seemed that going into the formation lap he just disqualified himself and now out of the race as well, so it's really gutted for him.
And now that Porchy dude, going on the grass there at the exit of turn 3 and 4, had to completely cut the corner and almost came together with Philippe, who was right behind him there. Now Philippe is going for another move up onto the next little straight here, and oh my god, Philippe and that Porchy dude, a little bit of a touch and Philippe smashes into the wall, and that's another safety car, and YouTube Marine just got another 3 times second penalty. Wow, Philippe missing the whole front wing just from that little tap on the wall, and we have safety car number 3.
I think the safety car is needed really for some of our drivers to give them a chance to actually catch up with Chilwadi, and maybe someone might actually be lucky enough to get past them.
So Porchy dude, Philippe, and Tapaxtra are into the pits. Chilwadi and YouTube Marine decided to continue on. Let's see how that will work out for them. It looks like Philippe had to serve a penalty while he was in the pits as well, so I had to sit there doing nothing for a little bit, but there goes the new front wing onto the car, and here comes Philippe back out of the pits again, but he's now going to be in last place after being on the podium for most of the race. Now he's going to have to try and recover those positions once again when we get restarted from safety car number 3 in tonight's race in this Group 2 Round 5 at the Canadian Grand Prix. Alright, so we're on lap 27 of 35, so just a few more laps to go here tonight. Chilwadi pretty much dominating this race once again like he did last week as well. First place right now, and YouTube Marine in second. I'm sure that YouTube Marine is probably going to get reviewed after the race because he's been pretty much completely cutting corners off. He's caused a couple of incidents throughout the race as well, so I'm sure that's going to be definitely looked at. Bevezier managed to recover to third place even though his car is still ghosting, so he's technically not driving that car. That's just AI driving it around. But he might end up getting a podium here today, which would be absolutely unbelievable. Tapaxtra in 4th, that one Porchy dude in 5th, and Philippe is in 6th place after having an incident with that Porchy dude just a couple of laps ago, which brought out this 3rd safety car.
I'm actually quite shocked that we've had this many safety cars with this many drivers. Really, it's a few the few incidents that we've had have been quite serious. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think a couple of those incidents and a couple of those safety cars were brought out just based on debris on track, because there was definitely quite a bit of debris on the track with a lot of front wing pieces. With the case of Philippe, the whole front wing was just right there in the middle of the road, and I know that this Codemaster F1 2020 game definitely has that code in it to bring out a safety car for debris on track as well as for crashed out cars in certain places. But, I mean, it's reset the race 3 times now. Chael Wadi has had to restart the race twice already. He's going to have to do it once again now as the safety car is going to come into the pits. And we will get going once again for the last 7 or 6 laps or so of this race. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Now Chael Wadi is not going to wait around. He's just going to go for it. YouTube Marine and Bivezier and all the rest of them are going to get restarted here. Let's watch how this is going to turn out. To Baxter already up into 3rd place there, overtaking of course Bivezier, who's ghosting. Oh, everybody else is going to overtake him right now as well. But all the rest of the cars are very close together, with Philippe just having a moment there through turn 1 and 2, and now he's going to overtake Bivezier for 5th place, and he's going to try and catch up to the rest of the pack here. Here comes to Baxter on YouTube Marine through 13 and 14, both of them cutting the corners there. YouTube Marine doing a bigger cut and getting back ahead up into 2nd place again. Yeah, I think YouTube Marine by this point is just having a little bit of fun with it. He's not really racing too seriously here tonight, which is a little bit of a shame. I'm sure this could have been a nice race, a little bit cleaner than what it ended up being. But to Baxter here is still right on the back of YouTube Marine as they're coming in through 4 and 5 and coming into 6 now. Let's see here, YouTube Marine getting a pretty good run through there. Baxter tried to make a move, but he's not going to be close enough. But that Porchy dude is now right on the back of Baxter as well. He might think about making a move here into turn 7. Nope, is going to wait around for possibly the hairpin corner because he's right on the back wing of Baxter here, trying to pick up side. Is he going to go right, left? He's going to go down the inside of turn 10, a little bit of a touch there, and then spinning out the car just a tiny little bit on the outside. There was also a little bit of a smash sound there, so that sounds like Baxter possibly touched the wall on the outside of the hairpin there. Wow, as I said, a little bit of a messier race than what I was expecting from this pack of drivers at this track, but we've only got 4 more laps to go here, and all of these guys are going to end up scoring points. Big battle now between YouTuber Ryan Baxter and that one Portuguese dude into turn 1. That one Portuguese dude almost lost the car again, managed to recover it. Baxter still putting on some pressure on a YouTuber Ryan. They're both just swaying from side to side, trying to make this work.
Well, that battle between those 3 cars will actually help Philippe catch up with that little small group and maybe challenge for a podium place.
That one Porchy dude gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings for cutting corners, so that is unfortunate for him. It's gonna hurt him a little bit in his race time, might lose a position or 2 there. To Baxter, that one Porchy dude, and Philippe and YouTube Marine are all still locked in this battle. Now Baxter's got a really good run on YouTube Marine coming into turn 13 and 14. They're gonna be side by side through there. It looks like Baxter's gonna make that overtake work, and he's gonna be up into 2nd place. YouTube Marine and that one Porchy dude are gonna have to try and make something happen here in the last 3 laps of this race. Here comes that one Porchy dude coming around the outside of YouTube Marine. Is he gonna make this work? He does, and he's up into 3rd place once again.
Fantastic move there by that one Portuguese dude. Actually took advantage of the little battle between Tipakster and YouTube Moran, which he fully capitalised it and took it really well.
So YouTube Marine still not letting off that one Portuguese that easily. He's gonna keep right on the back of him, and he's gonna try and possibly retake that position once again. He's cut some corners in today's race, but he hasn't really made it work to his advantage as much as you would expect. So yeah, it looks like at the end of everything, it's still gonna be that one Portuguese on that podium with, you know, even the penalties that he's got right now. Tapakster is not close enough to Chailwadi to overtake him or make anything happen, I think, in the last couple of laps here. So I think this might be it for the top two, but what's going to happen for the last few positions here, that's going to be the question for the last few laps.
Well, Chailwadi's on 19 lap old tyres at the moment, so they are be wearing thin. So that Tapakster, if he just makes up another 3 seconds, he might actually steal it on penalties.
YouTube Marine just made another contact with the wall at the exit of turn 5, and he possibly has more damage to his front wing now as well. This might help out Philippe in his quest to overtake him for 4th position. We've only got a couple more laps to do it, so let's wait and see. And yeah, this is, as I said, there's been a little bit of a messier race than we would hope for, but still very entertaining. And there goes Philippe up into 4th place, overtaking YouTube Marine down into turn 1 and 2. So YouTube Marine down into 5th place now. Oh, and just made more contact with the wall, and now he's missing another piece of his front wing. So YouTube Marine just not having a good time with the car here today, having a lot of trouble controlling it through the corners and out of corners, and it seems to have really hurt him right towards the end of this race. And YouTube Marine re-overtaking Philippe once again for position. Now they're battling into turn 13 and 14. Philippe is gonna try and go down the inside, doesn't work. Tapakster just set a fastest lap with a 1:13.6. And Philippe is gonna try again into turn 1 and 2 here. He's right beside YouTube Marine. He's gonna go around the outside there. Yeah, he does make it work, and he's back up into 4th place, but YouTube Marine is right beside him. They are side by side coming in through the next little chicane. Oh, and a big touch from YouTube Marine on the wall once again. More damage onto the front wing. Is he gonna dive down the inside of the next corner? Of course he does, but Philippe gets a pretty good run out of there. Is this gonna be the chance for Philippe to finally pull away from YouTube Marine? And yeah, YouTube Marine has really given a lot of drivers some trouble here tonight. Oh, Philippe touched the wall there as Chailwadi finishes the race. Gets a 5-second penalty for, well, not serving his penalty, but he's the winner here tonight with the fastest lap to his name as well. That one Portuguese dude actually steals the fastest lap right at the end there. Tapakster in 2nd, that one Portuguese dude in 3rd. Philippe is going to come around to finish 4th. Bevezier, who pretty much did not control the car for the whole race, is going to be in 5th, and YouTube Marine is going to be right at the back of the grid here at the finishing results tonight. Wow, so that was a little bit of a crazy little race for this group. I was not expecting this here tonight in Canada, but Ferret, your impressions?
I would say I'm a bit bewildered really about what we've seen today. It's been it's been quite a good battle. Some battles have been quite good, but they have been quite aggressive.
Yeah, I think that was mainly the problem here tonight, that a lot of drivers just went a little bit too aggressive on the track limits as well as on battling together and contact and things like that. It just almost like the rule book was all thrown out of the game here. So that Portugal gets driver of the day. Chael Wadi once again with another win 2 weeks in a row, extending his championship lead to 42 points. Tapexture is gonna recover a few points there. He's gonna be about 12 points behind him in the championship, so it's still sort of open in the championship. We'll see how this is going to turn out. There's only a few more rounds to go for this group to race together. But right now, Chael Wadi is really dominating this one.
Yeah, Chael Wadi's done absolutely fantastic to open up there, and I personally think he was my driver of the day. He kept himself out of the battles and just led every single time. After the safety cars, he just kept leading the way.
YouTube Marine there accumulated 21 seconds of penalties, but we had 4 DNFs of Luke Flandler, Broomhandle, TKM King, and Mel Gaming. And from there on, it was Chael Wadi with the win, Tapexture in 2nd, Juan Portudude in 3rd, Philippe in 4th, Bevezier in 5th, and YouTube Marine in 6th. Ferret, since this was a little bit of a messy race and we only had a few finishers here tonight, I don't think we really need to do any post-race interviews, but just let us know again, you know, what you think about tonight's race.
It was a heavily aggressive battling race. I'm a bit bewildered on why people did struggle, but it's kind of there. It's got to be. It's one of those races that I did have high hopes for, and the battles actually were quite intense, which was quite a good spectacle to see. Results though was as predictable, really. Chael Wadi running away with it again.
Yeah, I think so as well. So yeah, I think we will end it off here. Everybody who's been watching the stream, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining us once again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can catch up on more exciting action here in the Corsa Classic Cup in Group 2. We also have the Group 1 race next week on Wednesday that will be broadcasted and commentated as well, so catch us then. But from BLIN-MACHINE, from Ferret, from Corsa Classic Cup, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next week. Have a good night.